Brother Karan was born in a Sai family, blessed to have been with Bhagavan for the last 4 generations. His mother, Mrs. Seema Dewan, is the author of popular books physically blessed by Bhagavan and currently sold in the Sri Sathya Sai Books and Publications Trust. These include Sai Darshan Volume 1 and 2 and Sathya Sai Chalisa, among others. His father, Dr. Sanjeev Dewan, has been a visiting ophthalmologist at the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Medical Sciences, Prashantigram, for the past 26 years. He and his family were blessed to receive several personal interviews with Bhagwan during their many trips to Prashantinilayam from 1997 onward, wherein Swami guided them on both personal and spiritual matters that even today stand as guideposts in their life. Swami would lovingly call him and his twin brother Krish, his Lava and Kusha, and instruct them along with their younger brother Shiv to be ideal examples to their fellow peers. In June 2023, Karan and his family had the blessed opportunity to render in the Sai Kulwant Hall the sacred Sri Sathya Sai Divya Katha, which was directed by Swami decades ago and sung by Srimati P. Sushila and a select group of his students. Karan has served as a voluntary member of the Sri Sathya Sai Media Center for the last 10 years, conducting extensive research on the life and message of Swami for various projects. He also runs a YouTube channel called Sathya Sai Sannidhi,
Recording in progress,
which posts rare darshan footage of our most beloved Bhagavan for all devotees to relive those golden days. In addition, he runs a Facebook page called Food for the Soul, featuring inspirational divine writings by his mother. Serving Swami is Karan's purpose in life, and he enjoys learning about and speaking about Swami's glory in any given opportunity. Please join me in welcoming Brother Karan. Sairam.
Om Shri Sairam. I offer my most loving pranams at the lotus feet of my most beloved Bhagwan. Respected elders, my dear brothers and sisters, loving Sairam to all of you, and I wish all of you a happy Diwali and upcoming Avatar Declaration Day. It's such a blessing and pleasure to be with you all at such an auspicious time, which is a confluence of two beautiful occasions, and at the time when we're marking the 100th birthday celebrations of our Lord, who, though being eternal, chose to lend us the most beautiful name and form for the last 100 years, through which we can connect to Him and connect to our true selves. For that greatest gift that He has given us of this beautiful name of Sri Sathya Sai, this beautiful form of Sri Sathya Sai, His message, His life, and His glory, I'm sure in all of our minds, this question must be burning in our hearts, that what is the best gift we can give to our beloved birthday boy? What is the gift that we can give him that he will enjoy? And the answer that Swami would give each and every time this question was put to him was, all I want is your pure love and nothing else. This concept of pure love can seem rather abstract. It can seem rather esoteric or philosophical, and so sometimes we can be left wondering, what did Swami mean when he said, I want your pure love? So Swami, out of his infinite love for us, has given us certain examples, certain guideposts that we can follow, that just chanting their name, just thinking of them is enough to develop at least a fraction of the devotion that they had for him. And one of those examples is the great devotee Radha. Now, I know that the young adults in your blessed center are enacting, or rather reenacting Swami's Radha Bhakti drama, which he had composed as a kid and had his students enact during the 60th birthday celebrations. My brother Krish has been working with the music team on this, and he's been giving me certain snippets of the musical aspect of the play, and I can say that every time I've heard even just a few seconds of it, it's it just made me feel this intense sense of yearning and devotion. And I can see how much bhavam all of you are putting into this production. I shouldn't say production, but offering, in fact. And so I'm so excited for all of you, and I'm so happy that Swami has given you this opportunity to reenact this beautiful drama. The story of Radha is as grand as the story of Swami himself. And we can learn as much from her as we can from the Lord. When the students were putting together this play in 1985 during the 60th birthday celebrations, Swami, along with teaching them the songs, the dialogues, spent a lot of time telling them about who Radha is, who Rukmini is, who Satyabhama is, who Krishna is, with the idea that they should be able to imbibe some of those qualities in their daily lives and set examples not just on stage but even off stage as well. So in today's talk, I kind of want to keep my focus on those lessons that Swami taught the students, those insights that he gave them, so that all of us can leave today's satsang with a little bit of Radha in our hearts, with a little bit of Rukmini in our hearts, with a little bit of Krishna in our hearts, and even with a little Satyabhama in our hearts. And later on, I'll explain to you why I'm saying even a little Satyabhama. So Radha's qualities are so deep that it's impossible to describe them in full. In fact, when Parikshit was hearing the story of the Bhagavatam for the first time from Shukamuni, if you read the Bhagavatam, you'll find not once is the name Radha mentioned in that scripture. And the reason is, Shukamuni, the moment he would think of Radha, he would become so overwhelmed that he wouldn't be able to complete the rest of the story. And he knew that Parikshit only had 7 days before he was to merge into the Lord. So he didn't want to waste any time. So to make sure that there was no interruption in his story, he made it a point to not mention the name Radha. So that's how sacred her name itself is. So for all of you to enact her story is such a great blessing. Her every moment, her every second was spent thinking of Krishna. That was the first point that Swami drove home to all of the students. He said that whether she was drawing water, whether she was tending to the cattle, whether she was taking care of her friends and family, at every second, every pore of her being was emanating with Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. She didn't even need to say it orally, Swami said. Her very being was emanating with Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Swami would often say that devotion and discipline go hand in hand. You cannot have one without the other. And Bhagavan told the students that this was embodied in the personality of Radha. Yes, her devotion was very intense, but so was her sense of discipline. Swami said the way she would even interact, for example, with men is the same way that Swami expected men and women devotees to behave in his presence in the Kulwant Hall or in the Sai Center. So, for example, in the case of the students, when they were putting together this drama, Swami had certain boys act, of course, as Gopikas, and some of them act as Gopalas. And Swami was very keen that those students were acting as ladies, those students were acting as Radha or the Gopikas or Yashoda, as long as they're in that female attire in saris or ghagras, they should act as if they're actually ladies. So they had to sit on one side, the students acting as boys had to sit on the other side. Now you may ask, why is this? They're all boys at the end. So what's the need for this? For Swami, even in a play, Swami would say that the role that you express somehow comes from a deep part of you. If you're acting as Radha, there has to be a little Radha in you that you're bringing out. If you're acting as Krishna, there has to be a little Krishna in you that has to come out. So because the Gopikas and Radha acted with this kind of discipline, Swami wanted them to experience that bhavam that they were in. In fact, Swami would say that even when Uddhava came to speak to Radha, Radha didn't look at him directly. She looked at a bee, and through the bee she spoke to Uddhava. This is what is known as today as the Brahmara Sandesham, because she conveyed her message of devotion to Uddhava through the bee. So this was the level of character which they showed, and Swami wanted the students to experience that so that when they acted out on stage, the devotees can feel it, they can also imbibe it, and it becomes like this chain reaction. So this relationship between even Radha and Krishna itself was so sacred. Bhagwan, when he would speak to S. Kumar sir and many of the other students who were there, when he would talk about the relationship between Radha and Krishna in the interview room, he would bemoan how movies show that the relationship being more of a movie type romance, more of a worldly kind of relationship. And Swami would say this was nothing of the sort. Their relationship was purely atmic, it was purely spiritual. Um, and to drive home this point, some of the students who were there in the late 80s and early 1990s may recall this, that Swami stopped the students from singing in bhajans Radha Krishna, Gopi Krishna, even Sita Rama, because Swami would say when you're singing these, there are some devotees who are thinking of their relationship in a worldly way. And in doing so, their karmas are getting spoiled. Having come here, they should be purified. So Swami said, change those names. So instead of Radha Krishna, they would say Sai Krishna. Or instead of Sita Rama, they would say Sai Rama. This happened for a period of at least, I would say, 5, 6 to 7 years. And I remember, I'll just interject my own personal experience into this. Once I was with Bhagwan, and Swami asked me to sing a bhajan. So I started singing one bhajan which has been very close to my heart. Bansi dhara kanhaiya ghanashyama sundara. We all know this bhajan. And at the end we sing Radhe Govinda Radhe Gopala Radhe Govinda Radhe. Because I'd heard some of the old videos in which that Radhe had been replaced with Sai, I thought I should sing it like that. So I said, Sai Govinda Sai Gopala Sai Govinda Sai. I sang that, and at the end, Swami said, you don't need to sing Sai Govinda Sai Gopala. Swami said, you sing Radhe Govinda Radhe Gopala. Because you know the relationship between Radha and Krishna. So because you have that awareness, you can say Radha Krishna, Radha Gopikas and Krishna. So this is the beauty of our Lord, who sees where we are in our journey and customizes his instructions accordingly. But nonetheless, he was very particular that we respect the bhavam of Radha as we're singing about her or acting about her or speaking about her. So I felt it was important to emphasize that aspect of Radha as well. So that was the first aspect, is that she was in a constant communion, inner spiritual communion with the Lord. The second quality of Radha, Swami said, is that she is synonymous with the flute of Krishna. In fact, Swami would say she would pick up a bamboo stick and she would say, oh, bamboo, how did you become so fortunate to become this murali that is placed on the lips of Krishna? And Swami said there are 3 qualities in the flute, in the murali of Krishna, that Radha had that made her the flute of Krishna. And if we have these, we too can become his flute. Swami said the first quality is, if you look at the flute, it has 9 holes. So Swami said even the human body also has 9 openings. So it's very comparative to that. Swami said this human body, which has 9 openings, if you look at the flute, it's completely straight. You won't find a single curve in that. And Swami said that symbolizes straightforwardness of the mind. That the mind of a true devotee should be without deception, without corruption. It should be simple and straightforward. And that's exactly who Radha was. She didn't have any fancy learning. She didn't have any ego that came with that learning. It was just Krishna, Krishna, and Krishna. And that constant namasmarana in itself gave her the highest wisdom. So that simplicity and that egolessness is the quality of a true devotee. And the third quality that Bhagwan said, actually I'll stop here and narrate one more experience because Swami said that the flute is straight. When we were very small, at that time my younger brother Shiva wasn't born, so it was just me, my twin brother Krish, and my parents. We had gone to Bhakti. I think I was around 3 to 4 years old at that time. And Swami called us for an interview. And there was one duchess, I don't remember from where, she was from somewhere in Europe, she had also come. And Swami was speaking to us about different things. And suddenly he looked at this duchess and he pointed to Krishna. He said, do you know these two? He asked. And she said, no, Swami, of course, why would she know us? And Swami said, these are two saplings growing straight to the divine light. And that word straight he emphasized, so growing straight to the divine light. And I think Swami saw that maybe her English was not that good, so she couldn't understand what he said. So Swami said, do you know what saplings are? She said, no, Swami. So Swami looked at my mother and said, you tell. So my mother said, Swami, she said, told this Duchess that, ma'am, saplings are small plants. Swami said, yes, they're small plants growing straight to the divine light. So this is the expectation that Swami has of every one of us. Can we be those straightforward, simple devotees who only rely on Him, only think of Him, and don't rely on what others might be thinking of us, what others might be feeling of us? And I'll touch more on that later on in this talk. So that's the second quality of a devotee, symbolized by this flute. The third quality, Swami said, is in order for the musician to play the flute, there should be no dirt or any kind of even like saliva or anything in that flute. It should be completely clean. Then only can the music come out clearly. So Swami says, similarly, the heart of a true devotee should be pure, free of all vices, free of all faults, free of all defects. And it's only then that the Lord's music, the Lord's will, can flow from within you. So these are the three qualities. Your body should be dedicated to the Lord. The mind should be simple and straightforward. And the heart should be pure and without any defects. When you have these three, Swami said, you become the flute. And Radha was the embodiment of that flute. And that's why when she passed away, Krishna left that flute. Because when Radha passed away, he had no more purpose to hold that flute anymore. Because that flute was the representation of Radha, who he loved so much. And Bhagavan then furthermore added to the students, he said that when you become that flute, even if you're not being, even when the flute is not being played by the Lord, it's always kept near him. So Swami said, when Krishna used to not play the flute, he would tuck it underneath his kamarband. And he would always keep it with him so that in case he thought of Radha and was moved by a devotion, he would just pick it up and start playing it. So likewise, Swami said, when you become the flute of the Lord, you will always be near him and dear to him all the time. You will be available to him. Anytime there's any work that he presents before you, you will be there for him to do that. Not that he needs us to do any work, but it's an opportunity for us to enjoy that closeness to him and redeem ourselves. And the third thing Swami said is, when that flute is constantly close to the Lord, it's always protected by the Lord. Nobody can harm it, nobody can break it. I want to narrate one beautiful experience which I heard from one senior student, one senior brother who graduated from both the Prashantanlayam and Vrindavan campuses in the early 1990s. He had the opportunity of speaking multiple times in front of Swami. In fact, he says that there were times in which his fellow classmates would be preparing for their examinations, and he would be sitting and preparing for the talk he had to give the next day. That's how it was. And it came to a point where he knew exactly what Swami wanted him to say. He could preempt what topic Swami wanted him to speak on, and he would prepare accordingly. One fine day, he was sitting in the institute auditorium, and suddenly Swami called him up and said, "You speak." Now this time he wasn't prepared for a talk. So he just thought of some talk he had prepared previously, and the topic of that particular talk was grace, Swami's grace. So he thought, okay, you know what, I'll just recycle that talk. So he goes and he touches Swami's feet. And as he touches Swami's feet and goes to the podium, Swami looks at Sri V.K. Narasimhan sir, who at that time was the editor of Sanatana Aarati. And Swami says, you know, Narasimhan, our boys can speak on anything. You give them any topic and they'll speak on it. So you just say it. Give any topic and he'll do it, with songs and with poems, Swami said. So now the student was freaking out. He thought, okay, if this guy doesn't say grace, then I'm in big trouble. So he was praying, please say grace, please say grace, please say grace. But Narasimhan sir didn't say grace. He said, Swami, let him speak on Sharanagati. I want him to speak on surrender. He thought, oh God, now I have to speak on surrender. That's a completely different topic. Or is it? When we think of grace, how can grace come without surrender? And he was to learn that lesson very, very quickly. So he was in a panic, and just in order to buy time, he once again goes and he touches Swami's feet and goes to the podium, goes on autopilot mode, most loving pranams, the lotus feet of our most beloved Bhagwan, and he goes completely blank. He doesn't know what to say. He's just standing there. And as he stands there, he hears a small voice, a gentle voice. Swami says, Draupadi Chira. Swami says, very softly, means Draupadi Sari. And he gets the hint. He says, okay, Swami wants him to speak on Draupadi Sari. So he starts telling the whole story of how Draupadi was humiliated in the court and how Dushasana was trying to disrobe her. And it's only when she surrendered and let go, completely let go physically, when she was calling out to Krishna, Krishna wasn't coming. And Rukmini asked him that she's calling out to you repeatedly, why don't you go save her? And Krishna says, look, she's still holding on to her sari. With one hand, she's still holding on to her sari. She still feels that sense of, I need to control the situation. I cannot go until she completely surrenders. And it's only when she completely let go, lifted up both of her arms and said, oh, Hridaya Nivasi, the Lord was immediately there to protect her honor. So he narrated that story and again went completely blank. See, he was actually becoming a witness to this, how you can become the flute of the Lord when you're thoughtless and without any extra noise. See how the Lord can speak. So again he went blank and he heard a voice, Swami's voice. And Swami said, Gajendra, Swami said. He got the hint. So he started speaking on the story of Gajendra Moksha. Many of us may know the story from the Bhagavatam, the elephant who was caught in the hold of this crocodile. And it was only when he surrendered to the Lord and called out to the Lord, instead of fighting the crocodile, that the Lord saved him and the crocodile. He finished narrating that story and again went completely blank. See, this is the beauty of Swami. Then so he heard another voice. Swami said, Bettada Tudiyalli, Swami said. Bettada Tudiyalli. He was a Kannada boy and he was also a singer. So he used to like to sing along a lot of these Purandaradasa Deva Namas, Purandarasa's kritis and compositions which are in Kannada. So there's one kriti, Bettada Tudiyalli. I won't sing it, but I'll just translate the gist of it, in which Purandaradasa says that, O mind, don't be distressed, just wait in faith. He will protect all of us, there is no doubt about it. Who is the one who feeds water to the tree which grows on the hilltop? Who is the one who is responsible for this whole universe, both birth and death? That Lord will definitely protect you, there is no doubt about it. Who feeds all the animals and birds who are wandering in the forest? That Swami will take care of all of our responsibilities like a loving mother and will protect all of us. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Who writes the design on the beautiful peacock's tail? Who gives the beautiful color to the petals that grow on the plants? Who paints the green color on the parrots which speaks and sing such sweet words? That Lord will protect each and every one of us. There is no doubt about it. Who feeds the frogs which are born in the rocks and the mountains and nobody knows where they are? He is that divine scholar. He is that divine writer of this whole cosmos. He will protect each and every one of us. There is no doubt about it. I think this is a beautiful song that if each and every one of us can take to heart, we will become like that flute that is constantly under his protection. We have to believe that he is there to protect each and every one of us. We just have to be there for him. We just have to follow him. We just have to think of him all the time. So he sang this song and explained it, and again went completely blank. And again he heard Swami's voice. And Swami's voice said, Yama Rama. Yama Rama. Again, this is another Purandaradasa Deva Nama, in which Purandaradasa compares Rama and Yama. And he says both Rama and Yama are actually one and the same. They're not separate. It's just a question of how the devotee sees the Lord. For Vibhishana, who had faith, he was Rama, the beautiful Lord. For Ravana, who had no faith and who was filled with fear, he was Yama. For Ugrasena, who was full of faith, he was Krishna. But for Kamsa, who had no faith, he was Yama. So the Lord is the same in both ways. It's just a question of our faith and our openness to Him. And that's how we can experience Him accordingly. So he narrates that story and again goes blank. By now, 15 to 20 minutes had passed, and he had completely surrendered to the Lord. He wanted to speak on grace, but he was seeing that grace unfolding because he had surrendered to the Lord. How can you speak of grace if you've not experienced the joy of surrender? If you've not experienced the joy of being that flute through which the Lord can blow His beautiful music, just as He was doing in the case of this particular student. And he was thinking, how should I end this talk now? Because time has come to end the talk. And his mind was blank, and he hears Swami's words. Sai will take care of you, Swami said, sitting right next to him. Sai will take care of you. This was a poem which he used to recite many a time during many of the talks he would give. It's an English poem, and Swami was very fond of it. And I think it's a beautiful poem for all of us to think in our hearts as well. So he started reciting this poem, which is, be not dismayed, whatever betide, Sai will take care of you. Beneath his wings of love abide, Sai will take care of you. Sai will take care of you through every day, over all the way. He will take care of you. Nothing you ask will be denied. Sai will take care of you. Everything you ask, He will provide. Sai will take care of you. Sai will take care of you through every day, over all the way. He will take care of you. However hard may be the test, Sai will take care of you. He will lean the weary ones across His chest. Sai will take care of you. Sai will take care of you through every day, over all the way. He will take care of you. He narrated this poem, said Sai Ram, and went to touch Swami's feet. And at that moment, he truly believed it. All this time he had been saying it, Sai will take care of you, Sai will take care of you. But here he actually experienced it, that when you become that flute, this is how the Lord will protect you. If we can all leave this satsang with just this faith, I think we would have accomplished the purpose of not just this satsang, but the whole centenary celebrations. That when we are just open to Him, He will be there, but we have to open ourselves up to Him. He will wait for that moment. He waits and waits and waits. Vedakuchunnanu, Vedakuchunnanu, he used to say. I'm searching and I'm continuing to search. And I'm continuing to wait like Virtila. We have to open ourselves up to Him. So this comparison between the flute and Radha was something which Swami emphasized, not just to the actors, but even to the student who was playing the flute. Swami said, when you play the flute, you should express that same yearning which Radha had. So that's the next set of qualities that Radha possessed. The next quality Swami said that Radha had was antarmukhata, which means the ability to see inwardly. There came a point when, after Krishna left Vrindavan and started conducting his mission in Madhura and Dwarka and elsewhere, initially Radha felt the pangs of separation, the physical pangs of separation from the Lord. But very soon there came a time when even the physical separation didn't bother her anymore, because she could see Krishna in everything. She could see Him in the leaves. She could see Him in the Yamuna. Wherever she was, she could see Him. And at that point, the physical form actually seemed inferior to her. The omnipresence of the Lord was so grand that the physical form couldn't compare to that. Bhagavan once told my family and I many years ago this beautiful story of Radha's last days. And he said that this is actually not really documented anywhere else. This is something you'll only get from Krishna himself. Swami told us that in Radha's last days, she goes to Dwarka, disguised as a maid. So nobody knew that this was Radha. The only people who knew this was Radha was Krishna and Rukmini. Nobody else knew. Because she wanted to experience that proximity, physical proximity once more. And she would spend many happy days with the Lord. But then she came to a point where she realized, you know what, I'm not as happy now as I was when I was in Vrindavan. Because here, once again, I'm back to that point where Swami would say it's union and separation and union. Means when I'm separated from him physically, I'm united spiritually, but when I'm physically united with him, I have the fear of being physically separated from him. And that fear of being physically separated from Krishna was coming back, and she didn't like that. She started to miss the freedom of joy she felt in Vrindavan, in which she could see Krishna as everything, everywhere, at all times. And so she actually runs away. Swami told us she actually runs away from Dwaraka without telling anyone. And of course, Krishna is Antaryami, so nothing can escape him. So he finds out that she's running away and runs after her. And that's when this famous scene happens, this final scene happens that Swami used to talk about, where Radha tells Krishna that I want to just merge in you. But before I do that, just sing one more song. And that's when Krishna sings his final song on the flute. And whenever Swami would sing that song, Pata Padama Krishna, we could all feel that intensity of Radha and the love of Krishna for Radha in return. And like I said earlier, once she merged, Krishna leaves his flute and never picks it up again. And till this day, even in this Sai avatar, he's never picked up that flute again. How many times in the Sathya Sai avatar he would say, I'm still looking for one true devotee of the Lord. There's not one of you has that, not one of us, I should say, has that absolute purity of devotion. There's something or the other. There's some defect, there's some dirt in that flute that we have to go within and cleanse for ourselves. And the Lord is waiting. I want to pause here and share a beautiful clipping of the 60th birthday celebrations. One of the songs which was sung by S. Kumar sir, who acted as Radha, was a beautiful lullaby, Pavalanchu Pattisha. And in that song, he sings about how, Swami, you're constantly saying that you're looking for a true devotee. Your eyes must be so tired, Swami. Why don't you take some rest and go to sleep? And Jo, they sing. It's a very sweet song poetically. So I'll just share my screen and share maybe 2 snippets of that song. So it's very purposeful that Swami had the students sing that the day after the Radha Krishna drama, the Radha Bhakti play, that he wanted to emphasize that I want you guys to have the same devotion of Radha, that I'm missing that devotion of Radha and I want to see it in you again. So let that be our birthday gift to Swami, that we can offer at least a tiny Radha to him on this auspicious occasion. So this was the next quality of Radha, which is the ability to look inward and see Krishna for who he really is beyond the physical form. And because of this quality, Swami told the students, she was always joyful. And this is something that Swami emphasized to S. Kumar sir repeatedly, which is that when he acts as Krishna, he shouldn't, again, like in how we see in movies where Radha's crying and saying, Krishna, where are you? That emotion shouldn't be expressed. Swami said the moment she thought of Krishna, she could experience him. And even in the moments when she couldn't experience him, there was the joy of yearning for him. And Bhagavan explained that when Radha was talking to Uddhava, Uddhava asks Radha, that what do you mean by this? How can you have joy in yearning for God? How can you have joy in feeling that separation from Him? I can't bear to be separated from Him for more than a few minutes, a few moments or a few minutes. How can you say that you're joyful in feeling that separation from Him? And she gives a beautiful example. She says, when a mother is carrying a child or is delivering a child, there's a lot of pain that comes with that. For 9 months, the mother goes through so much of pain, and the process of delivery has so much of pain involved in it. But yet, Swami said, how many people are there, how many young women are there who are looking forward to becoming mothers? Because Radha said that the joy of loving that child is so much that it's worth the pain of those 9 months in the delivery, because there's so much joy in loving that child. And Radha explained to Uddhava that this is the state of a devotee, that even if there's the pain of separation, there's the joy of loving the Lord, and that joy of loving the Lord is so much that it makes that pain worth it. And it also makes you experience His love. Swami then explained to them, or narrated to them, one story, which again you're not going to find in any scripture. This comes straight from His divine lips. He said when Krishna actually came to Vrindavan many, many decades later, and that scene is in this Radha Krishna, this Radha Bhakti play. I call it Radha Krishna sometimes because that's how Swami renamed it in 1985. But the original is, of course, Radha Bhakti. Swami said when Krishna came to Vrindavan and met Radha, he knocked at her door, and Radha opened it, looked at him, and just smiled, gave like a very nonchalant smile. And Krishna was shocked because he was expecting a much more dramatic reaction, but that wasn't there. So he said, Radha, it's me, I've come back for you. And Radha says, what do you mean come back? When did you leave that you're saying you'll come back now? And she goes to every leaf. She says, Krishna, are you not present in every leaf? She goes to the Yamuna and says, Krishna, are you not present in every drop of this river? How can you say you've come back when you never left in the first place? And Krishna was so moved when he heard this. It seems he looked at Radha and said, Radha, I'm very pleased with you. Ask me for anything. I'll give it to you. And Radha tells Krishna, I don't want anything. I don't need anything from you. And Krishna says, don't you want at least my love? And Radha says, I don't even need your love. Even that love also I don't need. Because all I know is that I love you. And that's all that matters to me, is that I love you. Whether you love me or not is immaterial. And when she says this, Krishna gets so moved that he bends on one knee. And he says, Radhe, for the first time in the history of humanity, I have received something from a devotee. Swami said this. He said that Krishna told Radha, for the first time, I have received something from a devotee. So this is the attitude which each and every one of us should express if we want to have at least a fraction of the devotion of Radha. The next quality is a different facet of devotion. In the Radha Bhakti play, there's the story of Bhima and Rama, two villagers who have essentially an argument about Radha's legitimacy in her devotion. And when Bhima sees Radha carrying a pot of water on her head, he takes a stick and kind of just breaks it. It's sort of a way of just showing some petty spite. And as he does that, he immediately becomes paralyzed on the spot. There's a beautiful significance behind this that Swami explains to the students. He says that within each and every one of us, divinity is present and immanent. That divinity is present in every cell of our bodies. When we have that pure devotion of Radha, that divinity within us, which is potential, which is unawakened, it awakens and it becomes active. And when that divinity becomes active, we start to see certain things happening which are beyond the ken of our understanding. So Swami says the same divinity which was present in the cells of Radha were present in the cells of Bhima also. When Bhima harmed or tried to even harm Radha, The divinity which was awakened in Radha, every cell of Radha's body because of her devotion, when that divinity experienced this harm which was being inflicted on Radha's body, the divinity within Bhima also experienced that same pain. And so there was an immediate reaction which happened, where the divine energy within Bhima's body reacted to what was happening to Radha's person, and he immediately became paralyzed. And it's only when, on the advice of Narada, he goes and he touches the feet of Radha that he's cured on the spot. So Swami explained to the students that the power of this devotion is so much that you need not even call out to the Lord when you're in times of difficulty. That very devotion itself will come back to protect you on the spot at that moment. And that power, that divinity which activates, that is Swami. Swami is not just that beautiful 5'3" frame that we all worship. He is that divine power within each and every one of us, which is activated when we express the true love that Radha expressed. Once in Trai Vrindavan, Swami was hearing one talk by one student. And in the process of his talk, he said, Swami will tolerate any pain that is inflicted on him, but if even a single hair is harmed on any of his devotees, he will not tolerate it. And as he said this, Swami, who was just reclining on the jhula, he just sprung up and he said, yes, correct, say that again. So this guy was shocked. He didn't expect Swami would react that strongly. So he again said that Swami will tolerate any pain inflicted on himself, but if anyone tries to harm his devotees, he won't tolerate it. And again, Swami did like this, confirming that yes, that is true. And I remember during the Patmandaram days, during the Dasara celebrations, many of you may have seen pictures of those golden days when Swami would ride on those palkis and he would wear different colored robes and grant many glorious darshans to all the devotees who would walk in front of the palki as it would be taken in procession around Puttaparthi for the whole night, every night during Dasara celebrations. On one of those nights, there was an interesting incident which happened. There was one villager of Puttaparthi who, let's just say, was not a big fan of Swami. He looked at Swami and thought of him as some person who people have just nominated him, appointed him as some god, and they're worshipping him, and we need to put him in his place. And if he's really God, then I'll test him. So the test he adopts is when Swami comes in the pallaki for the procession, he was a farmer, so he had a whole herd of bulls and cows and all of these things, animals. And his plan was that when Swami comes near his farm in the procession, he will just release all of these bulls wild. And he said, if Swami is God, he should be able to stop them, right? So he waits and he keeps all of these bullocks ready so that when Swami comes, they can be released. So Swami comes and all the devotees were walking in front of him. Swami used to make them walk backwards. Swami would say, look at me only and walk. And he would tell them from the palki, okay, there's a rock, stay away from that, okay, turn right here. So they were only focused on him. They had no idea what was happening. And suddenly from the corner of the eye, they see this huge herd of bulls running towards them. And they were themselves shocked. They didn't know what to do. They froze. And Swami, it seems, just looked at those bulls and gave one look. So that look that he gave Kamadeva and he burned to ashes. He just gave that one look. And all of these bulls, as if they were hurled by some force, were thrown several feet behind. As if there was some huge gust that just hurled them. And all the devotees were shocked. Swami just gave one look and that was enough. And then he looked at the devotees and said, continue singing. As if nothing happened. But that's how the Lord takes care of each and every one of us. Anytime he sees that we're even close to danger, rest assured he will be there for us. But we also have to be open to him. We also have to have faith in him. Not only do we have to have faith in him, there's another aspect of this Bhima Rama story which Bhagavan emphasized. In that particular dialogue, Narada comes onto the stage after Bhima is paralyzed. And the first thing Swami has Narada do is ask Radha, what happened? He doesn't ask Bhima directly. He asks Radha first, what happened? And Swami told the students, do you know why I'm doing that? Do you know why I'm making Narada ask Radha first? He said, no, Swami. In the dialogue, when Narada asks Radha what happened, Radha tells Narada that I don't know what happened. I was singing the praises of the Lord. Suddenly, I heard the sound of a pot breaking, and I saw this man just lying on the ground. I don't know anything else other than that. Despite being harmed so much, she had no idea that there was someone who had such ill will against her. Swami said this is the quality of a pure devotee, that they don't even see any negativity or any kind of fault in someone else. And it's when you have that kind of purity that protection is instantaneous. I want to narrate one personal story that sort of illustrates this. This is a story of my father. And as brother said in his introduction, my father has had the wonderful blessing of serving in Swami's hospital for the last so many decades. And it's one of the reasons we've looked up to him so much. But there's one beautiful experience which he had, which impressed this very lesson upon me. I think this was in the early 2000s. We had gone to Bhakti and he was doing his seva in the hospital. And he had been given strict instructions that until 4 o'clock p.m., you are not permitted to go to the mandir. Even if you finish taking care of your patients early, you have to wait until 4 p.m. and then go to the mandir to have Swami's darshan. And he was feeling a little bit down. He was thinking, what is this? I'm only here for a few days. I'm finishing my patients early. It makes much more sense for me to go to the mandir and have Swami's darshan. And he was feeling very down about it, but there wasn't much he could do. So when he hears this instruction, it came out of the blue one fine day. He doesn't fight them. He doesn't argue with anyone. He just goes back to his ashram room. And he says, okay, I'll just wait there until 4 p.m. and then go to the mandir. By that time, Swami had already come for darshan. And he finishes his round. He goes onto the veranda. And he looks at the part of the veranda where my father used to sit. And he calls one of the students who used to serve him. And he asks him, where is Dr. Diwan? He asks. And he said, I don't know, Swami, where is Dr. Diwan? So he starts asking different people, where is Dr. Diwan? Where is Dr. Diwan? He was in almost like a frenzy to find out where my father was. And nobody had any idea. So some of them began running to the hospital because they figured he must be there. He, of course, wasn't there because by that time he had left. And they were looking everywhere except for the ashram room. And there was a frantic panic to find where this Dr. Diwan is. In the meantime, Swami was becoming more and more agitated. So quote unquote agitated, I should say. Where is Dr. Diwan? Where is Dr. Diwan? Swami was asking. In the meantime, my father has no idea what's going on. It's 4 p.m. He takes a shower in his ashram room and nicely walks into the mandir, having no idea that there's this huge kind of manhunt happening. And so he comes in, and as soon as they see him, they say, sir, Swami's calling you, Swami's calling you. So he calls all of us, and all of us go into the interview room, and we're sitting there. And Swami was completely calm. There was no agitation or anger on Swami's face. He was very calm. He sits down and he asks my father, so how are you, doctor? How is everything? And my father had been through so much, right? When you're treated like this, when you're told you can't go for darshan and all of these things, it would be much easier to say, Swami, there's so much politics and I'm being treated so badly, this and that. He didn't do any of that. He said, Swami, everything is going very well. The patients are being taken care of very nicely. Swami, I'm very happy. And Swami again asked, no, how is everything? What news is there? Again, he said, no, Swami, everything is fine. I'm taking care of the patients. By your grace, they're doing well. And Swami was so happy when he heard this. He sat back and he smiled and he said, I'm very happy with you. He said, I'm very happy. Why was he happy? Because despite going through so much, my father didn't even think of speaking ill of someone or saying, see, Swami, this is what this person is doing to me. This is what that person is saying to me. Swami never liked when people wrote complaint letters against him, or rather against others to him, saying that, Swami, this person is treating me badly. Swami would say, everything in the ashram is meant for your own growth. Even when people speak to you in a way that you don't find pleasant, even when you go through things which might not be nice, Swami said, I have placed those circumstances in your way for your own growth. And if you can see it in that light and not look at it in the negative light, the Lord is there to protect you. So this is how we can take these lessons of Radha and implement them in all of our lives, just like my father did. So this is the next trait that Radha possessed. The next trait that Radha possessed was, Swami said, shamelessness and devotion. She was absolutely carefree. It didn't matter to her what anyone thought. And people thought all kinds of things about her. Again, in that Bhima Rama scene, Bhima says all kinds of horrible things about her. But Radha couldn't care less. There's one line in that scene in which when Bhima is going on criticizing Radha, Rama, who is sort of more in his senses, he looks at Bhima and he says in Telugu, and I'll say these words because this is the way Swami wrote it in Telugu. He says, Yevri pichi varki anandam nike mira bada, he says. He says, their madness is their bliss. Why are you so affected by it? Why are you so bothered about it? And the student who is acting as Rama and saying this line, he says every time that he would say it in the practices, Swami would say, very good, say that line again, Swami would say. So again, he would say, Yevri pichi varki anandam nike mira bada. Swami would say, yes. Because for Swami, it was very important that we don't judge each other. Each of us have different ways of expressing devotion. Some of us through singing, some of us through speaking, some of us through acting, some of us by being in the audio system group. Wherever we are, we have our own way of expressing love for Swami. Nobody has the right to judge who is the better devotee, who is the lesser devotee, who is a devotee at all, in fact. Swami is the only one who can tell us who is a true devotee and who is not. We don't have the authority to say that. We can only look within ourselves and say, are we those flutes that are without any defects or without any faults? I remember in the interview room, this is when we were very small, and because we had a different way of life, which was more or less Swami oriented, we used to be treated differently in school. This was like when we were in first grade, second grade. And our friends couldn't really understand us. They couldn't understand where we were coming from and why we were behaving the way we did. We didn't go to parties, sleepovers, all of that. So this used to cause some angst in us because it's not nice when you're being bullied in school, of course. Any kid will feel that. So Swami calls us for an interview once. And our mother comes to our rescue and says, Swami, they're being bullied in school, Swami. The kids are not treating them properly. Swami, even the teachers are not understanding. And Swami first joked. He said, what do American teachers know? They know nothing, he said. That was very sweet of him to take our side and say, yes, how can they treat you like that? But then came the important lesson. His voice became more or less authoritative at this point. And I remember he bent forward and he looked at Krishna and me, and he made one statement which today has become the motto of my life. And wherever I speak, I always narrate this story. He said, let them do what they do. You do what you must. That statement today has become my absolute Mahamantra. That as long as I know that I'm walking in his path, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Yes, they might think I'm mad. Of course, we're all mad for Swami. He has made all of us mad for him. And that's the greatest privilege and boon that we can all have, that he has made each and every one of us so crazy for him that on a Sunday morning we're sitting here and talking about Swami when we could do any other thing. And for that we have to thank him. So let them do what they do. Let us keep moving forward in our devotion. Let us move forward proudly, saying that we are devotees of Bhagwan Sathya Sai Baba. If we go to Puttaparthi, let's say proudly we're going to Puttaparthi, that this is our master and our God. We should have that kind of conviction. And in discourses, Swami would say that if someone asks you that, how can you say he is God? Swami would say, you should tell them back that he might not be God to you, but he is God to me. Who are you to say he's not God to me? Swami would say, you should say that with that conviction. Who are you to say that? So this is the kind of shamelessness that Swami expects. Shamelessness and non-judgmental attitude is very, very important to Swami. I remember once we were at Swami's lotus feet, and he gave us a list of different common mistakes that are committed. And he said, I want you to pick 3 of the sins that you commit the most. And I remember one of them that I picked was speaking ill of others. I picked that as one of my top 3. And I showed it to Swami. Swami said, Swami said, this is the worst among all of them, he said. And I remember feeling such shame at that time. But Swami said, this is the absolute worst among all of these. That you can have any of them, but you should definitely not have this. And so that is something which Swami spoke so clearly about. Never ever see ill in others and never judge others. And at the same time, we should be confident in our own devotion to Swami and our loyalty to Swami. There's another line in the drama, again in Telugu, Swami says, Tamulo kondanta tappulu pettukoni, parulu anumatu tappulu anantamuga chesi anandinchade idi asura lakshanam. He says to take small mistakes that others have committed and to make them into something huge, and to do the opposite to yourself, to take huge mistakes and make them as something which is so small, is asura lakshanam. Swami said this is the demonic attitude, to make your small mistakes big and make rather to make your big mistakes small and make other small mistakes big. So we have to have this purity where we are confident and non-judgmental. Both of these were in Radha's mentality and in Radha's heart. The final quality that Swami said Radha had was that she was in constant oneness with the Lord. So there's that final song which has been beautifully recorded by the wise Krish had shared it with me. Prabhu Meenama Chintane Sadanandamu. And this Swami said this particular song, I'll just sing a couple lines of it. Prabhu Meenama Chintane Sadanandamu Radha Bhakti Lokaniki Shanti Parvatam Kadali Kajuram Kammani Cherukurasam Chakkani Tene Pandlu Saravihinalu Prabhu Meenama Me Radhaku Madhuraharam Mi Karuna Hari Hari Mi Smarana Adiye Bhushanam Dhara Poshakam Radha Bhakti Pratijiviki Mukti Sadhakam. Swami said this song explains the principle of Advaita. And when he said this to the music boys, they were a little confused. What does this have to do with Advaita? Swami said Radha symbolizes nature, and Krishna represents the Supreme Self. And when every aspect of nature is used as an offering to the Lord, even that nature takes the form of God. That's what we call the Vishwarupa. So the Namasmarana of Radha, the constant chintana that Radha did of Krishna, is symbolic of the whole nature being in tune with the Lord, being one with the Lord. That's why Swami has us do all of these satsangs where we come together and we experience the oneness that comes when we think of the Lord. Each and every one of us feel His presence. I can feel it even though I'm not in the hall. I can feel His presence as much as I'm sure all of you do sitting there. This is that feeling that Bhagavan creates. That is Advaita. That is the practical experience of Advaita. When we all feel one, when we all feel in tune with Him, that is the significance of this particular song. So these are the many traits of Radha which Swami wanted us to develop. I'll just summarize them very quickly. The first one, Swami said, is she had a constant heart-to-heart connection with Him that was deep and spiritual, combined with a sense of discipline. The second, Swami said she was straightforward and bereft of any faults, such that wherever she was always close to the Lord and protected by Him, just like the flute. The next one is Antarmukhata, or having an inward sense, where she could see Him as everything and as the inner recesses of every being. And the next one is she was always joyful, always happy, always had a smile on her face. The next one is she had divinity pouring through every cell of her being. She was like a divine reservoir of energy, where someone could even be cured of paralysis by just touching her feet. The next one is she didn't look at the faults of others. She didn't even see the faults of others, even if they did something wrong to her. The next one is shamelessness and devotion. She was full of confidence and full of egolessness. And the last one is she was fully one with the Lord. And because of that oneness with the Lord, everything she did reflected His being and reflected His divinity. When you go to Vrindavan today, people say Radhe Radhe. You won't even hear them say Krishna, because it is said there that chanting the name of Radha will take you to Krishna faster than if you chanted Krishna's name directly. And each and every one of us have the power to become those true devotees of the Lord. Brother, how much time do I have?
You still have 5 minutes, brother. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Could you say that one more time?
You still have 5 minutes, brother.
5 minutes?
Yep.
Perfect. So I think in the next 5 minutes, I want to share, I was asked to share a few snippets of the Radha Bhakti drama. So I think we'll conclude with that. There is a lot more I wanted to speak about how Rukmini is, how Satyabhama is. There's so many wonderful stories. I guess I'll just sneak in one more. So this was during the time when Swami again told this to the students, when Radha came to Dwaraka, sort of in disguise. And Radha and Rukmini were having kind of a satsang. And Rukmini was very eager to learn about Radha's experiences. So to make sure that the satsang lasted for as long as possible, what she did was, she gave Radha a piping hot cup of tea. Absolutely piping hot cup of tea. The idea was that it should be hard enough to drink it that it takes a long time. And in the process, she can squeeze out as many stories from Radha as possible. So Rukmini starts drinking this tea very daintily, royally, as we would imagine a queen would. But she was shocked to see that Radha takes that piping hot cup of tea and just gulps it down within a few seconds. She was shocked. And that's when she realized that Radha was just a villager. For her, these kinds of royal etiquettes didn't mean anything. And she just drank it just like that. So Radha was like, wow, okay. So the satsang went on. And after it was over, both of them took leave. And Rukmini goes to Krishna. And Swami says when Rukmini goes to Krishna, she finds his whole body is filled with burns. There's burns everywhere throughout his body. And she said, Krishna, what happened to you? And Krishna said, what to do? Who told you to give that piping hot cup of tea to Radha? When she drank it, who's seated in her heart? I'm seated in her heart. So all that hot tea came on me. And see now look what's happened. Next time, please make it cooler before you give it. So this was again the oneness which Radha had with Krishna, where even when she drank tea, that was so filled with devotion that you could see it reflected in Krishna's being. So I'll share just a few snippets of particularly that Bhima Rama scene because it's so powerful. So give me a few minutes.
Sairam brother. Sairam brother Karan, are you able to hear?
Yeah, let me know if you're not able to hear the clip.
Sairam brother, are you able to hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, just a request that if you want to take additional few more minutes to tell what Swami has told about Rukmini Devi and Satyabhama, those two can be shared and then we can have this video snippets and close. Thank you, Sairam.
Sure, done. Will do, Saira. So you can see Radha is coming in with a pot, and the person you saw there is Bhima, who kind of isn't a fan of Radha at this point.
పిల్లలకు కలిగిన బాధ ఆపండి స్వామి, ఆపండి.
అమ్మా రాధ, ఏమి అల్లరి? ఇల్లు నీవెందుకు చేర్చివి?
స్వామి, నేను యమున నుండి నీళ్లు తీసుకొని ఇంటికి వెళ్ళుచుంటుంది. ఇంతలో నా కడ పడిన శబ్దము, వెంటనే అయ్యో అన్న శబ్దము వెంటనే కన్నెత్తి చూడగా అతను బాధపడుతూ చూస్తుంది. ఇంతకన్నా నాకేం తెలియదు స్వామి.
ఓహో, ఇది ఆ సమాచారము. దాచిపెట్టక జరిగింది జరిగినట్లు చెప్పు.
చెప్పు.
నారాయణ నారాయణ. నాయన, భక్తి యొక్క మహత్తరమైన శక్తి లోపులు ఎరుగుదు. భగవంతుని భాగవతులు అనేక రీతుల బాధితులు దూషితులు. ఇది చాలా పాపం. ఆమె మహాభక్తురాలు. నిరంతరము కృష్ణనామంలో తిరుగుతున్నది ఆమె రక్తం. అది మహాశక్తివంతమైనది. ఆమెను చదవదొచ్చినా నీ బాధ నివారణమగును. కొమ్ము ఆమె కాళ్ళు పట్టుకును.
తల్లి, తల్లి, క్షమించుము. తల్లికి చేసిన అపరాధము మన్నిపుము, కరుణింపుము. కృష్ణ, ఏమీ నీ లీల. ఈ అల్పక్రీరానికి ఇంతటి పట్టము. క్షమించుటకు నేనెంతటి దానను. సర్వలను కుక్షేం దోచుకుని నీకు ఇది ఏ మాటది స్వామి. కృష్ణ, కృష్ణ, ఇతని బాధని త్వరగా తీర్చు కృష్ణ. చెయ్యుతుందిరా, తప్పిపోయింది. తల్లి, తల్లి, నీ చూసి ప్రపంచం అంతా బాగిపోతుంది. రాధామాతకు జై, రాధామాతకు జై.
So that's that beautiful scene that I explained about the power of Radha's devotion. And Swami found this dialogue so amusing. The style of Telugu was very colloquial, and Swami wanted it to be that way, so the villagers who were coming from all the nearby villages, they could appreciate and understand these very high, what we think are philosophical concepts. So I'll just spend a few minutes, maybe just 5 minutes, quickly going over what Swami said about Satyabhama and Rukmini. And then with that, we'll conclude. So Swami said Satyabhama had 3 major qualities in her. One was the way she conducted herself, the way she even stood and walked, was in such a way that people knew that this was someone who was close to Krishna. And Swami told the students that I want all of you to be like that. That wherever you are, you have to be my representative. People should know that this is a Sai student. This is a Sai devotee. Your behavior and the way you speak should reflect that. There's a student I know who's working in the Sathya Sai Media Center. He had done one training in Delhi. I think it was as part of Discovery Channel's training they had done for those who wanted to learn things regarding video editing. So he had gone there and he had spent a few months there. And he didn't tell anyone that he's from Puttaparthi, he works in Radio Sai and all that. And finally, towards the end of the training, one of the people there asked him, so where do you come from? And that's when he said, I come from Sathya Sai Baba's ashram. They said, no wonder. We've been wondering for the last few months that here's someone who's so well behaved, doesn't drink, doesn't speak ill of others, is so soft spoken. Now we know. And when you say you've come from Sathya Sai Baba's place, that makes so much sense to us. So this is the way Swami wants us to behave. And Swami said that's how Satyabhama was. The second one Swami said was Gambhiratum, which means she took every second that she had with the Lord very seriously. She never took a single moment she had with Krishna for granted. And I'll narrate one personal story here. This is a little silly mistake I had done when I was a little kid. I had gone for Christmas celebrations. And when I had gone for Christmas, I had a desire that I wanted to see Swami wearing a white robe and giving darshan on the balcony like he used to. I was kind of missing that. By this time he had stopped doing that. So I wanted to see that again. So I said, Swami, I wrote a letter saying, Swami, please wear a white robe and please grant us that darshan. He takes that letter and he doesn't say anything. Needless to say, that Christmas he comes in an orange robe. So he didn't even answer that prayer also. But he calls me for an interview and beautifully explains why. He looks straight at my mother and says, Swami has so much work to do, so many things Swami is doing. Why are you making your children write letters like this? She was confused, Swami, what letters? Swami said, they're writing that, Swami, you should wear white robe and all of this. Swami has so much work to do. Does he have time for all of this? Swami said, when you write, you should ask for the right things. So that was something which hit me very strongly, that when you're in the presence of Swami, take it seriously. Ask him for that which is worthy of being asked of him, having got this blessing of being in his proximity. So I remember after that, every time we would go to Patti, we would plan, okay, if Swami asks us, what do you want? We would say something like, Swami, let us sing a bhajan for you, or Swami, let us serve you. And Swami would accept each of those requests. So that sense of gambhiratam, taking our blessing of being with him seriously. Swami would say, Chikkini saini vakkaleka chakkini chesukondi, poyina chikkadu patishuni padasevayandi. That hold on to the sweet Sai who has come into your grasp. Once he leaves, once this opportunity to do padaseva leaves, it will never come back. And the third quality Swami said of Satyabhama is, she was very jealous by nature. And obviously jealousy is not a quality to have, but she was very possessive of Krishna. But Bhagavan made a beautiful twist on it. He said, yes, you shouldn't obviously be jealous of other devotees, and you shouldn't be possessive of the Lord either. But you can be jealous of the gunas that the other devotees you see have. Those devotees who are very close to Swami, who have won the Lord's heart. You can say, okay, how can I get those qualities? How can I obtain those virtues? How can I get that cleanliness that is in their flute, that the Lord is able to keep them so close to him? How can I develop that? Again, another brother who works in the media center narrates that before he became a student of Bhagwan's Institute, he would be so enamored by the way the students would conduct themselves that even at home, he would start conducting himself in that way. He would sleep just on a mattress below his bed because he would say, if I'm in the hostel, that's how I'm going to have to sleep. He would wear whites even at home because he would say, in the hostel, that's what I'm doing. So he started to change his own lifestyle to become that of a Sai student before he was even a student of Swami's University. In a sense, he became a Sai student, and after that became a student of Swami's University. We all know how Swami used to differentiate the two so many times. So that's the jealousy, quote unquote, that we can have, where we can be jealous of the gunas others have and try to develop them so that we can also win his divine heart. So that was Satyabhama. And then Rukmini. Swami said Rukmini was very opposite. She was very soft, very tender. And unlike Satyabhama, who was kind of jealous of Radha's devotion, Rukmini would rejoice seeing the devotion of Radha. In fact, Rukmini, in the play, Swami has Rukmini say that Ambe Lokamata, that she is the mother of the whole universe. She's the divine mother herself. Swami has that beautiful revelation in this Radha Bhakti play where he tells us who Radha is, that she is one with that divine Devi principle. And Rukmini loved hearing the experiences of other devotees. She was very humble. And Swami would say, she would always say, Krishna, I am yours. Whereas Satyabhama would say, Krishna, you are mine. So one tried to make the Lord hers, the other one made herself a part of the Lord. And during one of, I think it was the Christmas discourse in 1982, you can look it up, Swami said there are two ways you can attain the Lord. One is you can say, Lord, you are a part of me. Or the other, Swami said, is you can say, Lord, I'm a part of you. Swami said both are equal paths to reach me. You have to pick one. One is the path of Satyabhama, the other is the path of Rukmini. So this is the contrast between the two. I'll just show quick one or two snippets of each, and then we'll conclude this talk. So this is the scene when Krishna is telling Satyabhama that he is going to Repale. Swami always called Vrindavan Repale. That's sort of a folk style way of saying it in Andhra. And Satyabhama is kind of upset that you don't love me and you only want to be with Radha and all that. And she sings a beautiful song which I think you're all singing too in the play. Okkanadainavo Chakkanaya. So we'll hear that also.
Sathya. Niliyadido tripotili. Ni bhavame inni bhedamulaku mula karanam. Samattvamuleni variki anniyu samsayamule ఇష్టమున్న ఎన్ని కష్టములైనను ఓర్చుకుందురు. ఆ ఇష్టమైన ఎన్ని శుభములైనను అశుభములుగానే భావింతురు. ఇట్టి విలోకములో ఏనాటి నుండి వచ్చు అంటు వ్యాధులు, జంట పక్షులు. సరి, ఇక నేను వెళ్తాను.
Satyabhama made was directed by Swami himself, how she should move away whenever she got upset when Krishna said something, the way she should say that Cheppu and move away. Every move was directed by Swami because of course he is that same Krishna. So that's Satyabhama, and I'll forward to the scene of Rukmini praising the glories of Radha. In fact, she's the one who sings Prabhu Meena Machintane, which was beautifully sung by our dear brother Ravi Kumar, sir. Who sang Okanaidenavo as well. So this is after Radha has merged into Krishna and Rukmini is praising the devotion of Radha. With that, I think time is up and I've kept you all for a very long time. There's so much more that can be shared, both about the drama and about the lessons Swami taught, about all the characters, but as they say, Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta, you can go on and on and on. But I think I'll conclude with these few insights which Bhagavan inspired me to share with you. I hope that all of us can take a little bit of a Radha or a little bit of a Rukmini or a little bit of a Satyabhama with us back home and offer that to the Lord so that this 100th birthday truly becomes a birthday that he remembers. That just as when Krishna told Radha that finally I've received something from a devotee, that on this 100th birthday he can also say that finally I've received something from my devotees, and that is true, unsullied, pure love. Thank you all so much for your kind listening, and I thank Bhagwan for this golden opportunity to be with you all. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you so much, Brother Karan, for sharing those beautiful moments with our beloved Swami. It's always blissful to reflect on his story and his glory, especially on this day, the eve of the Avatar Day. Being able to get the snippets of the Radha Bhakti drama gave us the wonderful opportunity to see the divine director at work through the various songs, the dialogues, the various actions that Swami prompted the actors to do, the level of explanation that Swami gave for the various characters, including Radha and Satyabhama, and for everything really. We really have to marvel at how much care and attention the Lord paid in all his work. All this level of effort that Swami put towards this, and through many other endeavors of his physical sojourn, is all to impart to us that glorious message of Prema Bhakti, pure love to God, and the immense bliss that is obtained through the dhara of Aradhana of him. Like Brother mentioned, it is indeed the best gift that we can give our beloved Swami for his birthday, our unbridled, pure love. We thank you, Swami, for using Brother Karan as your instrument to give us glimpses into your avataric mission and works. May our love for you grow incessantly. May we always have the opportunity to revel in the sweetness of your glory. May we become like that flute through which you can play your beautiful Murali Gana. Jai Sai Ram. Gauri Nandana Gajanana Gauri Nandana Gajanana Gauri Nandana Gajanana Shambho Nandana Gangadhara Hara
शम्भो नन्दन गङ्गाधर हर शम्भो नन्दन परम सुमङ्गल मूषिकवाहन परम सुमङ्गल मूषिकवाहन परम सुमङ्गल मूषिकवाहन गान विनोदन गजानन गान विनोदन गजानन हे गान विनोदन गजानन गान विनोदन गजानन गौरी नन्दन गजानन गौरी नन्दन गङ्गाधर हर शम्भो नन्दन गङ्गाधर हर शम्भो नन्दन परम सुमङ्गल मूषिकवाहन गान विनोदन गजानन गान विनोदन गजानन हे गान विनोदन गजानन गौरी नन्दन गजानन
काषाय वेषाय धारणा
काषाय
काषाय वेषाय धारणा
प्रशान्ति निलया निवासा अरज सुनो मेरे साई अरज सुनो मेरे परम कृपालु 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 परतीश्वर साई देवा परतीश्वर साई देवा परतीश्वर साई देवा परतीश्वर साई देवा अरज सुनो मेरे परम कृपालु अरज सुनो मेरे परम कृपालु सत्य सनातन अंतर्यामी सत्य सनातन अंतर्यामी सकल चराचर तुम हो स्वामी सकल चराचर तुम हो स्वामी तुम हो स्वामी जन्म मरण से पार करो जन्म मरण से पार करो भव बंधन से उद्धार करो भव बंधन से उद्धार करो बाबा भव बंधन से उद्धार करो भव बंधन से उद्धार करो अरज सुनो मेरे परम कृपालु अरज सुनो मेरे परम कृपालु परतीश्वर साई देवा परतीश्वर साई देवा अरज सुनो मेरे परम कृपालु अरज सुनो मेरे परम कृपालु।
युग युग के अवतार तुम्ही हो। युग युग के अवतार तुम्ही हो।
साई तेरे चरणों में कोटि प्रणाम। साई तेरे चरणों में कोटि प्रणाम। शरण मिले लो साई प्रभो। शरण मिले लो साई प्रभो। साई तेरे चरणों में कोटि प्रणाम। तुम हो मेरे माता पिता साई। तुम हो मेरे माता पिता साई। तुम हो मेरे बंधु सखा। तुम हो मेरे बंधु सखा। तुम हो मेरे सब कुछ साई। तुम हो मेरे सब कुछ साई। दीजो हमको शरण तुम्हारे। दीजो हमको शरण तुम्हारे। साई तेरे चरणों में कोटि प्रणाम। शरण मिले लो साई प्रभो। साई तेरे चरणों में कोटि प्रणाम। तुम हो मेरे माता पिता साई। तुम हो मेरे बंधु सखा। तुम हो मेरे सब कुछ साई। दीजो हमको शरण तुम्हारे।
सब दुख हरना साईं भगवान। सत्य स्वरूपा साईं सत्य स्वरूपा साईं हृदय निवासा साईं परति निवासा साईं हम सब मिलकर मंगल गाए। साईं भगवान सत्य साईं भगवान। साईं भगवान सत्य साईं भगवान। सब सुख जीवन साईं भगवान। सब दुख हरना साईं भगवान। सत्य स्वरूपा साईं हृदय निवासा साईं भगवान। परति निवासा साईं भगवान। साईं भगवान सत्य 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 साईं भगवान। साईं भगवान सत्य
परतिपुरीशा प्रशांती वासा साई मुरारी परतिपुरीशा प्रशांती वासा साई मुरारी हे परतिपुरीशा प्रशांती वासा साई मुरारी हे परतिपुरीशा प्रशांती वासा साई मुरारी साई मुरारी साई मुरारी साई मुरारी साई मुरारी कमल नयन भगवान कमल नयन भगवान सत्य साई भगवान सत्य साई भगवान
जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय। ओम साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ 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 साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय